you, but you're never gonna be me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
What happened?
I hear you.
Hey, there we go.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Had some technical difficulties, folks. But yeah, I just want to make sure I could be heard. Welcome to the Geek Gauntlet Podcast, everybody. I have some tech issues, but we are here. I also want to go ahead and real quick and get into our boy back. Our boy Shaw is back. Shaw, what's up, man?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing tonight?
Glad to have you back.
Good to have you back, brother.
The Blue Beetle himself.
Get the man back himself. Yes. And again, sorry for the tech issues. Spencer, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate that. You sound good. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. I don't know what the hell was going on, but I had to go in and tweak some settings, and I got it going. So it's all good. It's all good.
Will just wanted us to be fashionably late.
All right, let's go ahead and get the conversation started. First of all, Deadpool Wolverine. Mm-hmm. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? I'm gonna start with our boy being back. Shaw, what did you think about the movie?
I enjoyed it. I mean, a lot of great cameos. Some that was kind of ruined by the internet, like Blade. Some that was ruined by Marvel themselves with their third trailer, like X-Men 3. Which is kind of why I had to see online. But all in all, it was really good, and I enjoyed it. So, yeah, what do you guys think?
I'll let you go because I knew you wanted to talk about it last week.
Oh, well, I was happy not to because I always like giving people some free time to go see it. For the most part, I think everyone except for maybe Janae's seen it here, correct? Yeah, did you go see it? Okay.
Yeah, we saw it Friday that it opened. Yeah.
Okay, same. Okay, cool. It was great. Yeah, like I said, there's some outstanding cameos. There's some really fun. Not only just the normal Deadpool meta aspect, but just simply the fact of meta in reality itself. Is just because there's so many interesting aspects and little key jokes that are just kind of like you wouldn't know unless you really stop and think about like how it fits in real life. It's a fun movie. Like I said, great cameos, great great comedy. I think I gave it like 4.5 out of 5 stars because at the end of the day, it may be a great movie and it's a lot of fun, but it is a movie that I think structurally fails. And what I mean by that is if you stop and think about how the movie is put together and how it comes together, nothing really. There's no real impact. There's nothing changed. Like at the end of the day, this could have been a send off to the Fox universe, and that's kind of what they movie. It is, but it also isn't because Deadpool saved the universe. The whole point is he's trying to find a new anchor for their universe, and they go find Logan and bring him back. And so structurally, he's not in 616. He's in.
Oh no, Deadpool is 616. Deadpool is in 616. Deadpool is 616 right now. He's in 616 right now. That's what they made that clear. He is in 616.
Well, no, that's what they show. The world he's at is in that world where is the Fox universe. That is the whole point of the movie. Is he's trying to save that universe where his friends are, and he saves that universe before it collapses. So he doesn't go into 616. He stays in the Fox universe.
He saved it, but he is in 616. There was some sort of connection thing or whatever.
Maybe I'm misreading it, but from everything I've seen, technically, he's not like everything I've seen. Because he doesn't end the movie in 616. And the only joke I'll make about the 616 part is just like a lot of other comic book fans, I don't agree that the MCU is 616, but that's fine. That's okay. We can just accept that, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things with the movie that you have to, with most Marvel properties, let's be really honest, you have to separate the MCU from the comic lore.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see what Tyler's saying. Like, if you look at everything, it looks like it's the 616 universe. But the MCU isn't seeing it as 616.
Well, the MCU sees it as 616.
Yeah, they're naming it 616.
Well, right, but it's not what we know as 616.
Yeah,
because originally they had named it 166666 or whatever the number was. But then Spidey out of nowhere says, "Oh no, 616."
Yeah, they confirmed that during the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, you could have just said that that's what the
number
was for them. But now it's on screen, so
But no, I think again, the movie is set up to be a send off to Fox, and the way it is, but it also, again, isn't, because he saves the Fox universe by the end of it. Like, it doesn't collapse, it doesn't fold in on itself. They don't destroy the Fox universe. It still exists. So everyone Fox related is still there.
Andrew.
What's up, Andrew?
What up, Andrew?
Hello.
Well, this does open the door for some of those characters to show up in Secret Wars.
Sure, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe that's why they didn't end it, which is, could make sense. I also wanted to joke because Blade Fox?
Yeah.
He was fine.
Blade was the very first Marvel character brought to the big screen.
Yeah. Blade was
And
in Marvel.
I thought he was he Fox and Screen Gems? Because I thought he was Screen Gems.
I always Fox.
They were owned by Fox at that point, though. Let me look here.
Maybe that's. I was like, I thought I remember Blade being Screen Gem.
No, it's old Marvel, as far as I know.
Let me see here. Also, I got to make.
Yeah, it was 20th Century Fox.
Okay, maybe I wonder if I'm just mixing it up with something else. But the only other joke I'll make though about that Blade cameo is him, of course, making the joke about how there's never going to be another Blade. Fun, real world meta there. But also, I want to kind of like jokingly poke fun when he's like, "I'm the only Blade that's ever been." I'm like, actually,
yeah.
Actually, there's already been another live action Blade, technically.
Yeah,
series.
we don't talk about that TV show.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, no one talks about that.
Yeah, no one talks about that. Hell no.
I think giving Channing Tatum his Gambit was great.
Boo. Hate him.
Wasn't bad.
Why?
Ruined Gambit.
Jeanette said,
Total frat boy. I don't like him.
Hey, you haven't seen it yet. You might.
I don't care. I don't like him as an actor.
Oh, okay.
Well, but here's the thing. So it's kind of like, Ben Affleck.
Disappointed.
I was kind of iffy
When
with
they
the
said he was
accent
going to
at
be
first,
Batman. Ben Affleck had been in some really good things. Daredevil just wasn't one of them.
right.
Which, to the cameos point, I loved Lecter's response to that. That was
funny. Yeah,
That was funny.
Well, especially since they were together and they're not anymore. That was even better.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, that whole thing was like meta and hilarious and relevant, and it was just great. But here's the thing. Like, even if you haven't liked things Channing Tatum's been in the past, keep in mind, these people are actors. They do get typecast a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Channing Tatum has characters that a specific character type he does get typecast into. But I did like him as Gambit. And it kind of makes me kind of sad of like, hey, had the movie happened in 2019, like had COVID had the world not been shut down, could that have been that moment when people who have the same opinion that Janae has, that, oh, he's just a dude bro frat boy, could that have been the moment that changed that for them? Because let's face it, before Peacemaker, how many people really saw I'm blanking on his name, John Cena, as a superhero actor or as like a comedic actor?
I've seen comedy.
Definitely done comedy before.
But I mean, he was still he was typecast kind of into those similar roles that Channing Tatum was. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was hilarious when he was a wrestler. Like, so like the potential was there, but he was typecast into a lot of those same like college dude bra roles, or like, I'm the big strong guy, I'm going to be the sheriff and save the world. But he decided, hey, when they came to him with Peacemaker, he was like, hey, why the hell not? Let's do it. Which is kind of led on to like him in the Barbie movie, as Mermaid Ken.
I ain't know that because I didn't watch that crap.
Oh, it was hilarious.
What? You didn't watch Barbie?
Hell no.
It was
like watching Barbie. I'm 53 years old. Hell, I'm doing watching
my
damn Barbie.
That movie was.
Barbie was great, and it had a couple good meta elements in that movie too.
Yeah. So I mean, Did I think with that Gambit was done well in this movie, regardless of who the actor was? Yes.
Props to his voice acting coach, like to get to nail down that like Cajun accent.
Yeah. And he even got some of like the inflections. Like if you've ever actually talked to someone who like is from Louisiana, who like deep into like the Cajun side of that, there were things like which we saw a lot more in the cartoon than we saw in any of the other live actions where they've ever pulled Gambit out. So I mean, I'd like to. Hopefully this will maybe be that chance for them to reopen that door under Marvel and see what happens.
Yeah, it was fun. It was great. I think the only two things that I was again, I think that they could have made this a send off, and it still was a send off, but I still think it could have been tweaked. The ending could be tweaked, and then the only other aspect I think was it cool to see all the like bad guy cameos, all the other people come back? Sure, but they were all basically red shirts. None of them, like most of them, didn't have a line of dialogue, and they were all just there to be killed off. Which is, I get it. That they're not. That the plot of the movie isn't about them, but it still would have been cool to like. I feel like again that's kind of that situation where we ran into when we were watching Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3, when they drew the entire Justice League but didn't bring back any of the voice actors to say a line of dialogue. Like it's one of those things where you're kind of cheating. You're not giving those actors or those characters anyway like more to be. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, here, stand in the corner off the screen, don't say anything, spend 12 hours doing makeup. Well, I know, but I mean, like, takes the guy who plays Sabretooth. How long do you think it took to get all that makeup on to be Sabretooth?
Yeah.
And then
I only say a little bit. Yeah. I only say a little bit. Yeah.
Wasn't the original guy who played Sabretooth Triple H in the first one?
No. It was the guy from I think
the actors that they brought back from this movie, so it's the original Sabretooth actor. It's the original Toad actor, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
He's also Darth Maul.
Original Human Torch.
Yeah.
Pyro's the original actor.
I'm still mad I didn't get my Captain America Human Torch crossover, but whatever, man.
Well, you kind of did.
Kind of did. Because no one was expecting him to say "flame on."
Well,
we're all waiting for Avengers Assemble.
Oh, I knew right away it was gonna be.
I saw that shit coming. Then I saw him wearing the hood. I knew they were going to do a reveal.
Didn't he kill my boy off? Come on, man.
Well, and here's the thing. I knew it was coming too because I know Chris Evans has a sense of humor, and I know that when the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness first came out, he had jokingly said that he would love to come back as the Human Torch.
I saw that interview. He was just like, he's like, Cap is so dear to my heart that he's like, I don't know if I would want to touch that again, but he's like, I'd be okay with being Johnny Storm again.
Oh yeah, and guess what? He did well. I love the meta jokes were like, oh, you got that kid killed. Kid, that guy was like 45.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought it was a great movie. Thought it was a fantastic movie. I love the cameos. I love seeing Elektra being back.
That was when it came out of nowhere. I really didn't expect her.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all. I really don't have anybody got any cons about the movie other than what Tyler was talking about. Anybody got any new cons or anything they want to discuss? I didn't see any.
I'd say, should we say, is there any cameos? Not that the movie needed more cameos, but is there any cameos that anyone would have loved to see?
Maybe at least someone from the First Class X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Like someone from there would have been good.
Well,
Logan was in First Class.
That Azazel. Yeah.
Oh, Zazel. Yeah, Zazel.
Yeah. Sorry, I never pronounced his name right first time.
Was that? I don't know if that was the same actor though. I don't know if it was.
It looked like it was. It was someone who was really close.
It might have been.
Yeah. But I would have liked to have seen, to Shaw's point, I mean, maybe like bring in like Mystique or like some of the other X-Men into it.
Yeah.
I do love how they did still go back and poke fun at his Deadpool. The first time Ryan Reynolds did Deadpool, when he was going and looking for the ultimate, for the right Wolverine.
Comic accurate Wolverine, Short King.
Yeah. And you know, Cavill Wolverine was pretty good. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I did love Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. That was great.
Yeah.
Got the chops and everything. Even though they made a Punisher joke, I still would have loved to see Thomas Jane. I love Thomas Jane so much. Not that Berthnell didn't do a great job, because he did, but I will always have a spot in my heart for Thomas Jane, and just to see him come back on screen as the Punisher one last time, I'd be like, well, my life's complete now. I'm happy, you know.
Well, Bernthal actually trained with Thomas Jane.
That's what I heard. I heard something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we get a lot of bigger Fox eggs. I don't know, because I mean I think we'll get a couple, like, but I don't think it'll be anything like what we got for this movie, because that movie this movie was trying to be meta on the Fox universe in that aspect, where Secret Wars I don't think is going to be meta. So they're going to be, if they're going to pull people from timelines, it's going to be most likely new characters. Like, we've already been introduced to like Hank McCoy, you know, over, you know, at the end of the Marvels.
Well, we already know that Deadpool will be in it, so
yeah,
like, we saw that.
I just don't know how, since it won't be a Deadpool movie, I don't know how meta it's really going to be.
I would have liked to have seen more in the Void, to be honest.
I mean, if they follow the comics, I mean, Deadpool does share the screen with a lot of characters and stuff, and so.
Sure. Well, remember, we still have to see the scene with him and Thor.
Yeah.
Why was Thor crying?
Yeah,
exactly.
I would have liked it, because for me, the Void just kind of felt like, if I'm going to put it into like video game context, it felt like a bad cutscene. Like, it had so much potential, but it was just like, oh, you're in the Void. Oh, you got captured by the bad guys. Oh, you escaped the bad guys. Oh, you found like the evil team's secret lair 10 feet away. And then you came back. Like, the Void, like, if you remember the Void from Loki season 2, was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Void was really like so expansive.
Season one, actually. Sorry.
Was it season 1? Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember which season. I know it was in Loki.
We do see it in season 2 for a little bit.
Yeah, you do.
The Void just was so much more expansive. Where I kind of felt like they hopped over and were like, "Hey, Furiosa, can we borrow your set for a minute?"
No,
Did that scene with Human Torch give anybody Mad Max vibes?
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
Sorry, say that again, Will. What?
Did it give Mad Max vibes?
Deadpool did kind of meta crack the joke about her being like, you know, budget Furiosa.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's an interesting, and the villain they chose, I think, was probably the best one they could pick in this scenario, because she is already a weird character, because she does and doesn't exist, and so putting her in this situation of outside of time and space, and also, like, in the comics, her whole big thing is hating Xavier, so putting her in a story without Xavier, it really kind of almost balances out in a way that works.
Yeah. Well, and I think it also gives more, him not being there gives more of a reason for her anger.
Yes.
And even one thing she commented on is, you know, without him here in this time in the Void, and so this is something that came up for debate online a little bit in regards to why is she so angry. So there were a lot of people that they saw it as Nova was angry because Paradox broke his deal with her, and that's why she wanted to destroy all the other timelines except for the Void. Now, the way that I saw it was, the reason she wanted the Void to be what existed is because that's where she finally felt like she was able to, like, be herself.
Well, it's all she's ever known. Remember, they said it took her out of the womb.
But she did know that in other timelines, like, Charles had been there and he had, like, toned her down a little bit.
Yeah.
And kept her from being her full potential. So for me, it was watching that and hearing her explanation It was more about the fact that she was able to this was her world and she was able to be who she wanted to be there without worrying about external factors. Paradox breaking the deal was just like icing on the cake for her.
I do feel like Nova and Enchantress would have, Sylvie would have gotten along.
Yeah.
They both would have been like, yeah, let's fucking fuck this place up. Let's just, fuck everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
No, I agree with you though. I think there could have been a lot more in the Void. The little bit we get is cool, but you're right. There could have been more. I did get too giggity when I got to see the Scarlet Witch temple.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Quagmire.
I saw that. I was like, yeah.
Giggity. All right, Quagmire.
Hey, I was so happy to see that. When I saw, I was like, that's the Scarlet Witch temple. I was like, Scarlet Witch, bring her back. Hey, I'm ready. Anyway. I want Scarlet Witch back on screen already. Okay, I'm
dead anyway.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I want her back on screen.
Yeah.
Have Mephisto bring her back, and then let's do something with that. You know what I mean? Like,
give it time. They're pulling from another multiverse. It's fine.
The first scene of that movie, no more mutants.
I still say we should got a second season of WandaVision. That's just me though.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know why they're wasting time on the Agatha one. Like,
I don't get it.
Well, like, here's the thing though. The actress playing Agatha is kind of great.
Yeah. I get that, but at the same time, like, the character herself was kind of a Karen.
I mean, not so much in the comics.
No, but in the show. Like, separating shows from comics.
More of a busybody than a Karen.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like since we didn't really, because Agatha doesn't really reveal herself as Agatha until the last 2 episodes. And so I feel like we didn't get a lot of Agatha.
But I just don't know if she's really a strong enough character to like build an entire series off of. Like,
well, you're gonna have the Aubrey Plaza as an actress in there who's amazing. You're gonna have isn't Wiccan gonna be in there?
We're not.
I believe Wiccan is gonna be in it, which is obviously the son of Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, it's still unconfirmed who the character's playing. So
I guess my whole thing is, we've seen so many shows that are getting canceled because of budget concerns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why are you going to put all this money into a series for a side quest character?
Remember we talked about this before, though. I would rather them spend the money in this making a series out of this character than doing a movie, because I don't think this character.
Right, and I support that side of it, but why not do another WandaVision season, and then tie it into Agatha, rather than just being like, you know what, we're not going to do WandaVision anymore, we're just going to go to Agatha.
The only thing I'll say to that, and this is only being a super like comic book nerd, is that like how many in the last 70, 80 years, how many like WandaVision would have been, let's say, a small 8-issue arc in the comics, and it was its own thing, and then Scarlet Witch goes off and joins the Avengers, and we don't see WandaVision for a decade before they bring back. And so this is just, again, one of those, like, during it, it might be the summer months, and they're going to do a 4 or 6 issue mini series arc, and that's what this is. And I kind of support that, because then you're getting a wide range of people. Not everyone's going to jump in on the superhero aspect. You can grab people that aren't necessarily superhero. I was filmed a while ago, too deep in production before all these cancellations. MCU. That could be it. I mean, we already know that Ironheart is already finished, and that's going to be eventually coming out. That was finished, a year and a half ago?
I thought they canceled it. I thought they shelved it.
I thought they brought it back and said it was coming back. They thought they said they were finally putting it on the roster again.
No, we'll find out.
That's going to be trash.
Yeah, we'll
see. You know what though? I'm interested to see what they do with it. But no, I think the actress who played Agatha was awesome. I think also knowing in the last couple of years how much Agatha has been tied to Midnight Suns, and I know that they're struggling really hard with Blade, and they're struggling a little bit with Moon Knight, and trying to figure out what they want to do, and if they want to somehow get a Midnight Suns going. This could be, one of the dominoes on the way to this, like getting to the supernatural paranormal. You know, we had a great. I want them to bring back those hour-long special that we got with Werewolf by Night. Like, give me. I honestly think every Halloween they should do a 1 hour special of some other random paranormal supernatural character. Doesn't even necessarily need to mainly connect to the biggest MCU, but can be just something there. And then eventually, if you wanted to, do what they did with Netflix Defenders. Bring all those characters you've introduced over the last few years into like a 2 or 3 episode thing after you've gave them all their hour-long special. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe for me it's just like Agatha to me, like she wasn't that. The actress is a good actress, but the character for me just was kind of a character.
I'm such a big Aubrey Plaza fan that I will watch anything that has her in it. And then also that I need to look, what's her name? Because I feel bad saying just the Agatha actress because she's a good actress. What is her name? Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, Catherine Hahn. Yeah.
Catherine Hahn is a phenomenal actress. I love her, and she's really grown on me the last couple of years. So I'm more than happy to see more Catherine Hahn. Like, just give me. And here's the thing, I think she was just in the WandaVision show. WandaVision was such a good show. I think she really was a highlight. I don't think she was the centerpiece of the show by any means, but like she was just something unexpected. I don't think, for the most part, I don't think many people saw Agatha being the person at the end. I think everyone was a big thing. Everyone thought it was going to be Mephisto. Everyone was waiting for Mephisto, and then it ends up like, oh no, Agatha. And people are like, well, who's that? Yeah, this character that's been in Marvel for fucking ever, who's been around for a long time, who has been like a good guy / bad guy character for decades. Also, Agatha has ties to the Fantastic Four in the comics, so there's some good things to like lead that direction. We already know that they're pushing hard for Fantastic Four. So, they've suggested that the Fantastic Four is going to take place in an alternate universe than the one we are currently in. So, like, it would be funny if we saw an Agatha in that universe that was different. And then, so we're getting to see more Catherine Hahn. So we're getting the introduction of her more with this. I don't know.
So basically, they're using her kind of like an anchor point, the way they did with
Wong.
No, not Wong. Before Wong,
Iron Man.
Coulson.
Oh, Coulson. Yeah.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
We still need Madison. Okay.
Wongers.
I still want I want them to produce 10 5-minute to 8-minute long specials of them and hide those randomly, whether they release them on Disney Plus, YouTube, or hide them in other movies as cutscenes at the very end of the movie. I want you to give me that, okay? I need that.
They can do it kind of like how they've got the right now the Boys has Vought Inc. on social media with the Deep doing like all of his little like reels and PSAs.
Well, Marvel used to do shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They haven't done those.
Yeah, you're right.
They haven't done those since like before Infinity War.
Maybe she'll be the new instead of Stan Lee cameos, she'll just be in random movies.
She needs to be there with Wong.
I agree with you, Spencer. I don't want nothing with She-Hulk either.
I think they've greenlit a She-Hulk season 2.
I know they did that. And I'm not happy about it.
Saying it, but it's never been anything substantial.
Trash.
I didn't mind it as much as everyone. It wasn't the strongest, but I didn't mind it. I was so happy to see Daredevil back again, and I was so I love also the actors who play She-Hulk. I could do that. Deadpool being the new Stanley, I'd be okay with that.
Especially with all the different versions of Deadpool. Like,
nah, man. Nah, the thing that got me about She-Hulk, you put Meg, and Kat tell you, she was on the show with me that night. They put Meg Thee Stallion in that thing. I was done.
I was done.
No.
You're okay with
I was done.
Star Wars.
Here's the thing though. She-Hulk. Okay, first off, She-Hulk found a way to bring in Frogman, such a D-list character, and they did it in the best way. And then, like, you brought back Abomination. We've been wondering where the hell this guy's been forever.
And this is true.
This is kind of great. They also had a bunch of other D-list heroes and villains that showed up in the show, which was great. And again, the actress who's playing She-Hulk, I loved her in Orphan Black.
Boring.
Did you ever watch Orphan Black?
I did not watch Orphan Black, but she was boring. She was born as Jennifer Walters. Boring.
I kind of wish they would have done more where it was like a big like bodybuilder woman actress that kind of looked like the just regular actress to do it instead of the CG.
I didn't mind the
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. They don't know how to animate a woman. Because this is something that even I commented about back then.
Yeah, because we talked about this, right, Kat? They had like a man stand in.
Her walk was not a, because if you look at like the actress that played Brianna Tarth, right?
Yes.
She is a large woman. Like she's a redwood tree. You know, I want to say she's like 6'4", 6'5".
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like naturally she's that kind of size.
Like Captain Phasma?
Yeah, Captain Phasma. Yeah. But when you see her walk, even when she was in full like night garb in Game of Thrones, she still had I don't want to call it a feminine walk, but women and men, our gait is different. The way we walk is just different. And some of that has to do with muscular structure, and I could get into the physiology of it, but that's a different show. But when you saw her convert up to She-Hulk, and it was more noticeable when she had the pants than it was when she had like a dress on.
Yeah.
The walk was like watching a man walk. So I don't know if they had like, they subbed in like a really tall guy and then they CG'd over the top.
I'll say Daredevil.
Or if the animators just don't know how to animate a woman walking.
I was like, Daredevil was like in like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say with Orphan Black, if you that actress, basically in that show, she had to play multiple versions of herself because she had found out she was a clone, and then she went looking and found her other clones because she's part of a top secret government project. But she played all of her other clones, and she was distinctively different, and so it was great because she could play like the Karen, play like the goth girl, play like the uptight, or like just everything. Like every person was distinctively like their personality, how they looked, how they acted, different. And so I was like, that actress is a great actress.
So I mean, and so to your point, I don't think that She-Hulk was the strongest that Marvel could have given us, like as far as content.
Yeah, exactly.
But my question is, and just hear me out on this. And I mean, you guys have heard me. Plenty of people who have been watching this show for a long time. You've heard me call out women actresses, women about their shenanigans. So it's not like me hopping on it's She-Hulk girl power. Like it's not that at all.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like maybe some of the better parts of the show ended up on the cutting room floor.
I think they went the wrong direction. I thought you should have Tyler, you might get me on this one. I thought they should have brought the Star Fox element in when Star Fox and her got down, but that's just me.
Again, a land of characters that have been introduced and are sitting on the bench right now. Star Fox, all the Eternals, Black Knight, technically Shang-Chi. All these characters that are just, they're there.
Yeah.
I almost feel like this set it up to fail, like with things, with how they wrote her.
Yeah.
Like
like
some of the stuff, her struggles that she was going through, I identified with that because like women go through those kinds of struggles and things like that. And sometimes people just don't like a girl boss. And when she acted like a girl boss, people don't like that kind of a thing. Yeah. So she was like in a hard place. So
yeah,
like literally, She-Hulk was one of my favorite characters. Like I was excited for this back when they announced it, way back in the day.
Yeah, she is silent in the comments. You can break the fourth wall.
Show, I mean,
if you I can compare, and this is probably a
so
terrible comparison, but so Moon Knight is one of my favorite characters. I love Moon Knight. I will die on that hill. Moon Knight's a fucking great character. The series, in my opinion, doesn't live up to the character. I think Moon Knight, the series, I think I had a good time watching it. I will be excited if season 2 actually does come out. But it wasn't the best showing. And I think that's kind of, for me, that's kind of how I see for She-Hulk. I enjoy She-Hulk in the comics. I think I had a good time watching the show. Was it the strongest showing for her? No, it wasn't. But I had a good time. To this day, I think the only, and this is, people can hate me if they want, I think the only thing Marvel's made in the last decade and a half that has been like so bad that I will warn people, do not watch it.
Madam Web?
No, that's not Marvel.
Well, that's Sony. Oh, okay.
That's Sony.
Sony, so.
Only thing Marvel made, I will warn them. Anyone want to guess?
Hawkeye?
I like Hawkeye.
I know, I was
Very well.
joking because William doesn't like Hawkeye.
No, so Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
I think Secret Invasion is one of the worst things Marvel has ever made. And this is someone who loves Marvel. This is someone who loves a lot of those characters. There's great actors in it. Moon Knight was really good.
I would say that's probably more because of expectations of being called Secret Invasion when it should have just been called Nick Fury or something like that. Because like they did not do anything with the story at all.
Yeah, it's Secret Invasion was one. It takes the title of Secret Invasion, but doesn't really do anything from the comics, which I knew it was never gonna be like accurate to the comics, but I was hoping they would do a little more. They didn't. And then also the point of the show makes nothing actually makes sense. Like they give us like, oh, well, everyone thinks Nick Fury has gone soft and gone old. No one's thought that ever. Like, if you wanted us to believe that, you had several movies leading up to the series where you could have like
started to show that.
Yeah, start having that, right? You didn't. So this was out of the blue, nothing. You also had a lot of like A-list actors in that series, and you did nothing with them. That was a waste. And then also the fact that this series came out just before the Marvels, the fact that fucking Samuel Jackson had to go on and be like, you need to go watch this show before you watch the Marvels. Secret Wars isn't that well? Which Secret Wars?
Which one?
Yeah, it was an attempt.
Which one?
Didn't follow through.
Yeah, which Secret Wars? There's several.
We got issues if you're talking about the first one.
Yeah, the original Secret Wars is dope. It's it's
awesome.
been retcon, but it's the original origin of Venom, technically.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the suit at least.
That first Secret Wars is
the
dope.
suit part, yes.
That thing, man. That thing had. You want to talk about cameos?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
Everyone, yeah.
Oh, Secret Invasion. Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
You know what?
I got you on Invasion.
I will tell you, I don't like the art style on the original Secret Invasion comic. I'm actually not a fan of that. I've got to go back and look what the artist is. I don't remember. I'm not trying to like shit talk the artist because he can draw way better than me. I can't draw anything. But I just didn't care for that art style. Best part of the movie was the opening scene.
Hey man, what's up?
Best part of the movie. What movie? What movie?
Which movie are you talking about?
Could be Deadpool.
You talking about Deadpool?
I mean, that was a pretty epic opening scene.
It was an epic opening. I'm just saying, like, it was a dope opening.
Hey, doing a music video is always great.
Yeah, it was a dope
I love how
Yeah.
NSYNC renamed their the music video for that from Deadpool and Wolverine now.
Yeah.
Oh, I do want to make. Why on Deadpool Wolverine? I want to make one little comment. I might as well do it here. I was gonna make a TikTok about it, but I might as well do it here.
So make a TikTok too.
You guys have all seen, right, that there's been several videos out there of people saying, oh, I went into the movie Deadpool and Wolverine and left 15, 20 minutes in because how dare they? It's such a devil movie and how it's anti-Christian and I can get my money back. Have you ever seen those videos? You haven't seen those on TikTok?
I haven't seen those yet.
No, I don't follow those kind of people, so they don't get into my feed.
I've seen 3 or 4 of those so far, and they
are.
I
know that it's
Stop
been
being a
said, 'cause I've seen
jackass.
articles.
It's a movie. Stop being a jackass.
Well, I think it's how I've decided there's only 2 types of people making this comment or making these videos. You're either section 1, which is you are the dumbest person on the planet. Like, I don't know what world you thought Deadpool was, but because you heard him in the trailer say he's Marvel Jesus, you're like, oh, it must be a Christian movie.
Did you think of a poster up at your local Christian bookstore?
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, you're just admitting to the world that you are just very stupid.
Jackass.
And coming online to say that just shows how dumb you are. The other aspect, the aspect number 2, is you are smart enough to aware that Deadpool is going to be a successful hit. You know that putting hashtag Deadpool on your video is going to get you feed, and you know that you're going to get a lot of hate, a lot of people clicking and sharing and commenting because you're going to get a lot of people telling you how stupid you are. So you're going to try and capture that. And if so, you're an online troll. An online troll means you're an ugly motherfucker. So
those are all the type of people who brought their kids to watch him.
Well, yeah, there was that one mom who said she demanded mom who demanded a refund because her kids were scarred for seeing Deadpool. Like, someone needs to call child services and get them away from her.
Right. How you not gonna scout that out?
Now, here's the thing: were there kids in my theater? Yes, but were they with their parents? Yes. Could you tell their parents obviously knew what their kids were about to see? Yes.
You know what? Here's the thing. I was a GameStop employee for years, and I wanted to sell every person who came in and bought Grand Theft Auto for their kid, who was probably 6 or 8. I wanted to write down their information and send it to child services.
Damn.
Because you're like, oh, here, it's no worse than what they see on TV. I'm like, sir, ma'am, this, there's literally a mission where you are hiding in a vent, videotaping someone with a prostitute to get blackmail on them. What are you letting your kids watch?
Right? This is like, what are you doing?
There's also the quest chain where you slap the hose to get your money.
Yeah. So again,
an achievement.
Hey,
that is an achievement.
Deadpool 4.
You gotta keep that 10 hands strong.
Buy a gun from the guy who does the voice of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there'll be a Deadpool 4?
That would be nice, but I don't.
Probably not.
I mean,
here's
possible.
Yeah, I think
we'll see Deadpool more, but maybe not.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but Ryan Reynolds himself did make the joke on stage where they asked him, were there any pushback, were there worrisome, especially when you kept making jokes about Disney, and he said there were, but also Disney said money.
Right.
So I would not push past the idea. Now, if Kevin Feige has enough power to fight back, I would think that they would give it a couple of years. I wouldn't jump straight into Deadpool 4 in the next year or two. I would give it some time. Play out your stuff that you are. Don't fast track Deadpool 4. Don't be like, okay, it was such a success. We need to move all the movies that we already have on the list to move it sideways and make Deadpool 4. No, you have a plot. You have a storyline. I'm assuming you sat down at a table and you planned your next 5 or 6 years so people are making things. That's how they've done their comic books forever, and that's how they've been doing the MCU. That's how they're able to tease us about supposed movies and shows that will come out in 2028. How many things have been told us that haven't come at all? Where's Armor Wars?
Right.
There's just so many things out. So don't fast track Deadpool 4 to try to make a fast buck. Just do what you're doing, and if you want to go there, make it. Why do you think Thor was crying?
I mean, I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, I do want to see that. I would love for that to be a joke somewhere in Secret Wars or somewhere else.
Bring it in as a joke where there's somewhere where Thor is at.
Or
he just took the Hot Ones challenge.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everyone.
He said that's what he really wants.
He took that last dab.
What you could do with it is the person Thor's crying over. It turns out that's not actually Deadpool. It's somebody else looking like Deadpool, and then Ryan Reynolds could be like, "So it's not me." Oh,
that'd be hilarious.
It was Jane in a Deadpool costume or something.
Yeah. Loki shapeshifted. I don't.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it was a great movie. It was great to see Hugh Jackman come back as Wolverine, probably the last time. Particularly in the yellow suit.
I think we'll get one more.
One more of them.
Not a whole movie. I don't think we'll get a whole movie. I think I think the fact that they didn't put a pin at his ending.
They didn't.
Makes me think that what they'll do is he will be a cutscene. He will be, if anything, for fuck's sake, if anything, he's going to be someone who kickstarts the X-Men and then walks away from it. Gets the ball rolling in some way. Because he's from a universe where the X-Men existed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if anything, he can be like, well, this universe doesn't have an X-Men team, or technically the Fox universe does. But if he, for some reason, they try to slide him into Secret Wars or anywhere, he could be someone that kicks off the X-Men in some way.
All right, we're gonna stick into Marvel for my next question before we go over the other news and short reviews that we have. Now that we've got a chance to sit on it for a week, are we still liking Robert Downey Jr. as Doom?
It's comic accurate.
Yeah.
So here, have they actually specifically said what the plan is? Have they said it or no?
I haven't seen
Not
any
yet.
plans other than he's playing a role.
Yeah, that's all.
All we know is he's Doctor Doom, and he will likely be from the same universe that Fantastic Four is from.
So he's not going to be. Is he going to be Victor Von Doom, or is he going to be a variant of Tony Stark?
We don't know about that either.
Yeah, and that's where I'm not sure how to
They don't
feel
get him started.
Here's the thing: Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor. I don't know if I really think it's the smartest decision to. You're going to get really, really in a bad situation when you start bringing people back, because the only reason why you've had good luck so far is the other actors weren't MCU actors for the most part.
Yeah.
They were, when you brought back Chris Evans, he had been from the Fantastic Four movie, and then you brought him into the MCU. And there also had been probably about, probably 5 years.
Oh, it was more than that. Yeah, it was like a good chunk of time.
And then same thing with bringing back Killmonger,
Yeah.
drastically different things. And so there's not even that many people who watched that Fantastic Four movie because it was so bad. So you didn't have much fear. Knowing that Robert Downey Jr. is such a big, might as well be the anchor point for the 616.
Yes.
I struggle to see what they're going to do. If they want to make him a variant of Iron Man, totally, I'm here for it, just because there 100% has been variants of Doctor Doom in other universes we've seen. Currently, in the current Ultimate timeline, Reed Richards is Doctor Doom.
Yes.
So we easily could do that. I have no, and also that could even be again another situation, kind of like Jonathan Majors, where at the end of Loki when he says, if you think I'm bad, just wait till you see my variants. We easily can start. This will be the kickoff. Doom is there's other variants of me, and they're all pieces of shit. And be careful what you wish for, because you may have escaped this universe, but I promise you, there's another variant of me there that's worse than me.
Well, and see, my whole thing there is to your point. Robert Downey Jr. is so solidly locked.
Yes.
As Iron Man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, when Chris Evans played Johnny Storm, it was 1 to 2 movies. It wasn't solidly cemented in.
Yeah.
We've got 15, 20 years of RDJ as Iron Man now?
Yeah.
And Silver Surfer wasn't considered good. People didn't like Silver Surfer. The movie, the Fantastic Four Silver Surfer, because they liked the first movie. I think it had its issues, but I think people got on board. They liked the first
because
movie.
we didn't have that many superhero movies at the time, so we were excited for anything we got.
Yeah, exactly.
True. So true.
But I think here, if you have someone who, in the Marvel universe, he is an established actor for an established character.
Yep.
I think it would be problematic.
Yes.
If they tried to bring him in as Victor Doom.
Yes. It's the issue that James Gunn was worried about. That's why he's restarting DC, because he's worried about people oh, keep Henry Cavill. Do we all want that? Yes, but you're trying to rewrite that. You're trying to start over, and people are unfortunately not smarter than a 5th grader, and so they're gonna be like, oh, well, it doesn't make sense. It's connected. He's like, it's not connected, but it's the same actor. It's not. I know. I get it.
Yeah. Where I think if they bring it in as when Iron Man took the mantle of Doom, and so it is Tony Stark.
Yeah.
As Doom. I think the audience will be receptive because, like you said, the audience isn't smarter than a 5th grader.
Yeah.
I think
you don't need him to play Doom forever. You could have him kick off Doom for a movie, maybe even 2, and then you can 10 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever, bring in Victor Von Doom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, I think that would be the best route if they're going, because everything that I've heard is pointing to the Doomsday storyline, which would coincide with Tony Stark.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they try and bring him in as Victor Von Doom, though, I think it's going to blow up in their face.
Yeah, I think I haven't, because some people online are like, "Oh, he's going to be Victor," and I'm like, I haven't seen anything official from Marvel say who he's actually being, other than he's going to be Doom.
Unless he's Tony Stark, but then he goes, unless he's like going by
they need to make that clear.
Name and does Victor Von Doom as an alias.
Yeah,
Kind of a thing, and becomes evil.
Yeah, Marvel isn't really good at making those things clear.
Yeah. Also, it's not a good thing to do, to have him do that, because since we haven't been introduced to Victor Von Doom yet, I think if we had already been introduced to Victor Von Doom in the MCU, and then this is like 10 years after that, and maybe Victor Von Doom died in something or disappeared, whatever, and then they try to bring back, and Tony Stark's playing him, and he took over the name, I could see that, but we haven't got there yet. That's jumping the gun. That is getting the chicken before the eggs hatched. Like, so let's. And
I feel like they're trying to kind of like not fully reboot Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But
I
think they're like, hey, we know this other guy existed in these other 2 movies. But those stories didn't work because we can't write to save our lives. Well, and so here, let's try this storyline and let's bring in Robert Downey Jr. because people like Robert Downey Jr., which is actually a falsehood. People don't like Robert Downey Jr. People like Iron Man.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but because of that, they liked. I mean, he's pretty popular. So like, there's a lot of other movies he's done that's outside of the MCU that have done well, that he's done well in. I think that they have a good cast lined up to be Fantastic Four. I think Pedro Pascal is a phenomenal actor. I think he's going to deliver a freaking great Reed Richards, I'm sure. The only fear I have, and this is going to be a situation that we'll see what Marvel chooses to do. It's what they did with the OG Ant-Man. Technically speaking, both Ant-Man and Reed Richards are often very flawed individuals. And especially when it comes to the multiverse, they are very flawed individuals. And so, with Marvel knew that. So when they brought in Ant-Man, they focused on Scott Lang, and they kind of like pushed the original kind of in the background. And he was there, but like, he's not super like a main key thing to the story. Why? Because he if you really get into it, he's problematic. And Reed Richards, not always. I'm not saying every version of Reed Richards is problematic, so that's not true at all. It's just he often is. And so
his ego gets in his way.
Yeah. It does. It really does. Doomsday. Well, yeah. Well, that's Marvel and DC for you. I mean, Deathstroke and Deadpool, or Wonder Man and Wonder Woman. We could sit there all day long and talk about their same character lines. No, I don't know. It's we'll see. Like I said, I love Pedro Pascal. I can't wait to see him. I would love Reed Richards. I would really be sad to find out, like, not sad, but it would be cool to see if Pedro Pascal can find a way to make me hate him, like I hate Reed Richards that time when he's evil. Yeah, I don't know. And also, again, this is a different universe. So is this going to be the Fantastic Four team that leads the way, or I doubt this, but is Reed going to be the Maker?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Would he kick off the Secret Wars because the Maker decides to collapse the universe on itself? Because technically, that was one of the most recent Secret Wars that happened, was when Doom becomes the ruler of the cosmos, and Maker causes a lot of that shit. Yeah. So I don't know. That'd be interesting.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our short reviews, and we'll get into this Comic-Con news. I didn't see it, but I know some of y'all probably did. Who watched House of Dragon?
I caught up finally.
Oh, I ain't forget. Before we get into that, Tyler, what did you think of Beyblade?
I'll say this: 10-year-old me might have had fun. I just watching it now, I was just like, man, this seems corny. But then I started and I was like, well, I have in the last couple of years rewatched Yu-Gi-Oh, rewatched Digimon, and rewatched Pokemon. And I'm like, they are all pretty cornily bad. So
I mean, some stuff holds up, some stuff doesn't.
Well, and again, I only watched the first 2 episodes, so I can't like say for the whole series or anything like that. I just mean like how it's set. It's interesting. It's strange. I also still, again, 10-year-old me didn't notice these things because 10-year-old me watches the show about 10 and 12-year-olds and we're like, woohoo, go do this. But then now 29-year-old me looks back and sees a show about 10-year-olds saving the world or doing these things, and I'm like, well, that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid. So,
Fact.
I don't know. Like I said, it was certainly a fun moment because I think after I watched the first 2 episodes, I actually went and watched the first episode of Pokemon, just for the nostalgic view. But yeah, it was okay. I don't know if I would watch it today and enjoy it, but I definitely think maybe 10-year-old me might have. And yes, Beyblade might be in the Olympics, Spencer.
It's not a thing.
Bill is going to be the next Beyblade champion.
It's not a thing. It's just the fact that Tyler's never seen it before, so I wanted him to watch it to see what he thought about it. And
The game still exists. And it ebbs and flows in popularity.
yeah,
That's
the
why
game's
Ando
pretty
didn't
good,
come on
yeah.
tonight because he didn't watch it either. Ando, if you're watching right now, you can comment. Say like, dang it, Tyler, calling me out.
You called me out last week. You called me out. But all right. I just wanted to see. All right, House of Dragon. Who watched it?
I did.
What did y'all think?
Oh, so epic.
Yeah, it was.
I'll let Janae go. Janae hasn't been here for a couple weeks. I'll let Janae go first.
Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
What I was talking to Matt about this, and like the one thing I like
Later,
about
Spencer.
Game
Never coming
of
through, man.
Thrones is like they focus on like what happens at different parts. Like one whole episode is all about King's Landing. This is what we're doing. Okay, all about what's going on with Daenerys, and then all about what's going on at the Wall. But here they just jump all over the place. I didn't realize that Dragonstone was that close to King's Landing when they were at the very end.
It's
Well,
not.
so it's
I was
really
like, how
air
fast
travel.
are these dragons flying?
Well, they pretty fast actually.
Yeah.
So also
This is
keep in
great.
mind that like so for example, Texas. I will use Texas as the example.
I know, right? For travel wise, yes.
Yeah. I
Better,
would
Spencer.
say that like if you're thinking about King's Landing to Dragonstone,
hmm
it's probably about the same distance as it is from like San Antonio to Dallas.
hmm
Now, if you're doing that in a car where you're taking roads that are going around things, it
Mhm.
takes about 3.5 to 4 hours,
hmm
construction permitting. But if you hop on a plane and fly from here to Dallas, it's a 45-minute trip.
Okay.
So because you don't have to go over the bumpy roads, you don't have all the obstacles, you don't have all these
Yeah.
other things, you're
Mhm.
just flying a straight line.
hmm
So it's not that they are close in distance. It's the combination of as the crow flies,
Yeah.
plus a dragon can probably move faster than a horse.
Yeah.
So say average horse speed is 3 to 5 miles an hour.
hmm
And a dragon is going anywhere from, we'll call it 50 to 60.
Yeah.
And I'm basing that off the fact that, the dragon riders have about the same protection as a motorcyclist.
hmm
Mhm.
Yeah.
So at those speeds, they should be okay at like 55, 60 miles an hour, maybe even 70 miles an hour.
Definitely no parachutes though.
Yeah, no parachutes. I've had this conversation. No parachutes.
Ah.
So that may be some of the short distance as well.
Yeah. Well, because it's like, and then like a few episodes back when she went to King's Landing to talk to Alicent, it's just like in original Game of Thrones, that would have probably taken, you probably wouldn't have seen her again for like 3 episodes until she got to King's Landing. It's like, because she traveled by boat, I would assume, because there's no way she would have traveled by her dragon during that. So it's like, sometimes like my brain's just like, man, it took forever during Game of Thrones.
Well,
but everyone's just traveling super fast.
But once again, though, you also have to look at where they were traveling to and from.
Yeah.
The only really like sea-based areas was Dorne, which when the one niece, Brayla, I believe, was the niece that went to Dorne from Dragonstone. We didn't see or hear from her for 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Because that boat ride would have been much longer. The other travel we saw during Game of Thrones was on foot on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll point out though is obviously I read the first Game of Thrones book. I need to read the rest. I haven't got around to it. I haven't read anything for House Dragon, so I can't tell you if the writing is this way. But what I can tell you from how I've seen how the show has done things, Game of Thrones is very much like the soap opera where I'm going to draw everything out, where you are going to get every detail to the point of like, might as well be 24. It might as well be that because you're going to see every hour of the day. But House of the Dragons is kind of like, that's irrelevant. Like it seems like the show will happily do like 4 or 5 days will pass. And the show that it was covered in 5 seconds. It was just like, it's not really mad because that's not the point of the show. It wants to talk about what's happening. And so that seems like House of Dragons pacing and it's good because again, it makes the show feel faster. It makes it feel like you can get a lot more done where you don't have to have someone spend 5 days traveling. You can have them just kind of like, I'm going to King's Landing. 5 seconds later, I'm in King's Landing, but actually 5 days just went down.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's the time between episodes. They're traveling between episodes. That's
yeah.
You know.
So I don't know. I will say that ending scene, great. When she's standing there and the 3 dragons are behind her. Yeah, she looks like a fucking badass. Like I was like,
the first time you ever see Aemon have real fear.
Yeah. Well, I will say this is the first time in the series. Not that again, I've never like had any distaste for Rhaenyra whatsoever, but I think I've talked about it before that like this is medieval Succession. It's a bunch of rich people fighting over bullshit. But Rhaenyra is starting to kind of slightly come out as the hero a little bit. Like she's kind of starting to like her. Obviously, it's all in her benefit, but like sending the food to people, kind of like taking a chance on bringing the non-nobles into possibly become dragon riders, something that's never been done before, something that's like blasphemy to the dragon
riders, dragon barbecue, tomato.
So
this is one of my favorites got to be a dragon rider. I was like, I like this dude.
Well, and you know what? I got to give the show credit too because there's been several characters like the 2 we see at the end to become dragon riders that have kind of been like, we're going to introduce them, but like,
what if they like character? Yeah.
What was the point of them? Why are we following these characters? And then finally we make it to the episode like this last week, and I'm like, oh, like shit. Okay, they've been laying out the groundwork. We've been getting to know this character. Heck, you even saw this week that guy. One of the reasons that pushed him over this, his daughter, who's been sick the last several episodes, is dead now. Yeah. So like, we get the like this is a side character that we didn't even know we needed or knew was even relevant to the plot, but like we've watched his story.
From the time that he showed up asking about the payment for the
sheep.
Yeah, for
sheep,
the
cows, or whatever it was.
No, he was the guy that came after the sheep because
was he? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And so King's Landing had ordered all of these weapons to be made, but it's like, yo, we need money to make your weapons.
Yeah.
And because the crown really doesn't. They don't have that money because they've squandered it.
Rich people squandering money? What? Weird.
I know, right? Like, people in power might have misused funds. Say it ain't so.
Because that doesn't happen in real life at all, Musk. I mean,
no.
No.
I am getting tired of Damon's shenanigans at the Vale or wherever he's at. It's like, okay, is he hallucinating this time or is this real?
They are dragging that one out. That one is I don't know what's going on with Damon anymore.
Well, go back to your niece wife and
go
between your legs and be done with it.
There's that, and like you see through his visions, because they did kind of explain in this episode a little bit, or maybe it was in the part that I saw afterwards about the Godswood. So if you remember from Game of Thrones, the Godswood was basically where Wheelchair Child was named, like
Bran was named whatever it is.
Yeah.
Under the old gods.
Yeah. So, but then you see this other Godswood tree at Harrenhal that hasn't been properly maintained. It's just kind of been neglected.
Yeah.
Well, so the Godswood trees contain a lot of like cosmic energy and like the history of what has happened.
Yeah.
And while Damon is like blaming their like resident witch for the visions, it may actually be the Godswood like we saw with Bran. That's the one. I'm like the one that kind
I
of
always think of Bran's like just a really plain cereal.
And he was quite plain, yeah. After he fell out that window.
That's why I always remember it.
After he fell out the window, so episode 1?
Yeah.
I was like, he fell out of the window at the end of episode 1.
Yeah, but we all thought he might die then. We were like,
To be
he's gonna die.
To be fair, when he went north, he did disappear for like a season and a half.
Yeah, that's
yes.
true.
We saw him as a kid, and then he came back, and he was like a foot taller. And we're like, whoa, who the hell is this guy?
Who's this guy? Yeah.
Puberty hit.
The Godswood is really kind of like what's most likely creating these visions and creating this like haunting effect for Damon.
Yeah.
And some of it I think is kind of getting down to, and I mean, I wish they would be a little more clear about it rather than like the haphazard over the river and through the woods way that they're doing it. But you see now where like Damon's always wanted the throne.
Yeah.
But he still has guilt over like the anger he had towards his brother.
Yeah.
For getting the throne. And even now you see him still make comments about like, you know, when we take King's Landing and she will be at my side. Like, nah, bro. You're not, you're still going to be king consort, sir.
I think they just throw that in there just to piss him off.
Yeah.
You're just king consort.
I do want to see, like, I don't know what they're doing with Damon. I have no idea. Matt Smith's a great actor, but you know what made him stand out, in my opinion, in season 1 that I feel like we haven't necessarily got to here? When he would go off and just be a fucking menace. And he's kind of, because he's stuck at this castle and trying to do things, he's kind of just being like crazy guy, but he's not being a menace. I want to see that like twisted, fucked up Damon. I want to see that person who's like very okay with like killing his wife when no one's looking and pushing her off a horse and fucking murdering. You know, like I want to see that twisted. Or I still love to this day the episode. Am I late? Yeah, you're welcome in. In 1974, you might be a bit late or early, depending how you want to look at that. But the episode in season 1 where he doesn't say a single line, but he's fighting at the what is it, the steps or wherever the hell they were.
Okay.
And they send him the letter, and he opens it, reads it, and then just kind of like, I was like, he was such a badass, and he didn't have a single line of dialogue that episode, but that moment is just very like, oh, good.
Well, and I think here's what I think they're also trying to show with that, though, is in season 1, Damon had zero consequence for his actions.
Yeah.
Because he was the spare.
Yeah.
You know, it was the concept of the heir and the spare. So when he didn't have to worry about, like, how will this look on the kingdom? How will this look on the queen? How will this look on anybody? He could just go off and do whatever he wanted. And he didn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, how many of Damon's children could have probably come and picked up the mantle as dragon riders? I mean, I'm sure there's at least like a few dozen.
Right.
Well, to be, yeah. So, I mean, who knows how many are out there?
Yeah.
All right, gang. And Kat, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Char only has a little bit of power left on his laptop.
I gotcha.
He's got like 40 minutes left. So let's go ahead and hit up the next show real quick.
Sure.
And I know you watched it. I watched it for the first time. Kite Man.
Yeah.
I love Kite Man.
You got to say it right. Kite Man was a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. It's hilarious. I love that show. I got to go back and watch the rest of the episodes.
We get a lot of Bane. That's always great.
Yeah, particularly that Bane.
Yes.
Particularly that Bane. All right. And last one,
Go ahead
Suicide
and
Squad.
lead us off on this one, man.
And
What?
last one, anybody watch Suicide Squad? I didn't see it. I started it, but I didn't get a chance to finish it.
It was
I haven't-
okay. I
haven't
watched
watched
the
it.
it.
last
Me too.
episodes.
It's like,
Yeah, like it was very cutty back and forth. Now, the like showing this episode, if I'm on the right one, was kind of showing a little bit more of like the Joker and Harley's relationship, but like
I was like,
because it's now in an isekai anime,
Does it feel cringy?
it actually feels slightly less cringy
Oh, okay.
than their actual relationship because he's very much more like the wooer. Like before it was like Harley was his groupie,
Mm-hmm.
but in the isekai he's more like actually trying to woo her and like
Is she in her element pretty well there?
yeah.
That's good. Okay.
She
I'm gonna try and watch some either tonight or tomorrow. That's the plan.
Yeah, but this is very much more a Joker that's like trying to capture Harley's attention.
Gotcha.
In true anime fashion. Like you know.
Okay, that could be cool. It could be.
all right, let's go ahead and we hit all the shows. Let's go ahead and get into our Comic-Con news. Shaw, what you got?
All right, first up, let me look over here. All right, so Giancarlo Esposito will apparently be playing a character named Sidewinder, aka the leader of the Servant Society in the Captain America movie. What are y'all thoughts?
I like him as an actor and he always plays a good bad guy.
He plays a good character in general because he's played some cool, like, very complicated characters that have been bad guy and good ones as well.
Yeah.
If it's not an action movie, I love him. Or action scene, I love him.
Oh, come on. You didn't like him in Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man?
I didn't even see that movie. I didn't even see that movie. It's like I ain't watched no damn Barbie. But he is a good actor. He is a good actor. What's next, y'all?
We have the new title for the Fantastic Four movie, Fantastic Four First Step. He also showed a clip or something at Comic-Con. It's not online or anything, but we did have a shot where we see Galactus for the first time. What are y'all thoughts?
Hashtag bring back Jessica Alba. I'm just saying.
I haven't watched the clip. I know it's out there. I'm kind of waiting to see it I'm waiting for a trailer or something just because I think I tried to watch the clip, but like you could tell it's a camera, like someone hiding a camera. And I don't know. I just was like, I'll wait. So I haven't seen it. Did it look cool? Shaw, did it look cool?
Yeah, look. As far as I know, yeah, looks pretty good.
I just saw the drone thing with
that was cool.
Deadpool and then Fantastic Four with Galactus in it.
Yeah, the giant Galactus with drones coming up. Yeah, that was.
that was like really eerie. It's like, oh, okay.
It reminded me of the Fortnite event when Galactus came. I remember seeing the video. I don't know if anyone saw it, but the Fortnite event when Galactus came and destroyed the Fortnite map.
That's funny.
Yeah, he showed up and like just raises up into the sky and then kind of just extends his hand and you see how massive he is. And it's like, yeah, it was great.
All right, what's next, y'all?
We got new titles for the Avengers movies that's coming up. First will be Avengers Doomsday, which will of course include Doctor Doom, aka Robert Downey Jr. And in 2027, we got Secret Wars, of course, and that will be coming out in May. What are your thoughts?
I mean, if they do as good as they did with Deadpool, then I'm not going to be mad. If they do it the way they've been doing all the rest of their films, then people are going to want their money back.
Like with the Eternals. Ooh, I'm sorry I said that.
The only argument, which I really hate that I'm arguing for a $1 billion company that doesn't need me to argue for them. What have we had the last couple of years? We've had a pandemic, which messed up everything. We had a writers and actors strike that messed up everything. And I'm not trying to give them a pass. We should absolutely hold them accountable. But like at the same time, I don't think these last couple of movies have been as bad as everyone say they have. I think they've had some flaws, and I think they've come out with poor timing. But like, if you really look at the MCU as a whole, they've certainly had movies that were not seen. Like Thor and Thor: Dark World did not really go over well with most people. It wasn't until Thor Ragnarok that kicked off things for Thor. Even Iron Man 3 from a lot of people weren't super like ecstatic about. So MCU has had their movies that have not been super like everyone on board loving it. Technically, if I remember correctly, it changed quick, but Captain America Winter Soldier, I think when it first came out, there were a lot of bad reviews for it. That
people were skeptical about it too, but I think, and just hear me out on this too, I think it kind of, and like going back to a comment made in the Deadpool movie, is that when you're looking at a film, the content and the story should really be what holds the movie together.
Sure.
Not the special effects.
Yep.
Right.
And I think, unfortunately, in the last few years, they've tried to rely on the special effects end of it to make the film. And the fans are like, if I just wanted to watch a bunch of explosions, I'd just like go rent G.I. Joe and watch, or Transformers and, watch it at home. So if they can finally get back to where they're telling the story the right way and then letting everything else kind of come as it is, they could be really great movies. Well, but if they start relying too heavily on CGI, non-practical effects, things of that nature, then and they leave the story behind hoping that the graphics are going to make up for it, that's not how that works.
I think the other aspect is they're going to have to address and deal with going forward. Whether we like it or not, Marvel has gotten so popular. It's huge. Which is a good and bad thing, because you're going to bring in a lot of people who have never read comic books. And now you have that side of things. You have that aspect of people who like saw the explosions, watched Deadpool and loved all the craziness of that, have come in and watched all the jokes and funniness or the action and loved it and like, yeah, we love Marvel. We're a Marvel fan. And then when you make a movie like The Eternals, which is a little outside of the norm, or you make a movie like I don't know, Black Panther, where I guess apparently you're all upset when there's not a white lead. You're going to get a lot of people who are just kind of unfortunately going to be loud and obnoxious, and it just sucks because read comic books, guys. I mean, you'll kind of get, there's a lot of things, very, very few things have Marvel put out in the last couple of years that hasn't already happened in the comics in the last 20, 30 years.
Mm-hmm. True.
All right. What's next, y'all?
Yeah, so next up, there's a comic book crossover coming out of Galactus versus Godzilla. What do y'all thoughts?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Loses.
I mean, if you're going size-wise, I mean, Galactus is kaiju size.
I thought he was bigger than that.
He might be a little bit bigger. I'm not sure, but I know he's at least kaiju size.
Okay.
Yeah, Godzilla loses.
Yeah.
I could. What's it?
Not saying Godzilla isn't strong, but he loses that fight.
Because size wise, I think like Master Mold would be kaiju size, and I would think Galactus is bigger than Master Mold.
I think it really depends on what storyline you pull from.
Mm-hmm.
But for both, by the way, for both Galactus and Godzilla, because we absolutely have seen versions of Godzilla who can like hide behind skyscraper buildings, but we've also seen Godzillas that are towering over skyscrapers.
Right.
We've seen Galactus in comics who have had people standing and they're probably like their head is touching like his ankle. But we've also had ones where his hand is so large that he is covering like an entire continent.
Yeah.
So like it just depends on where they're pulling from.
All right. Shaw, what's next? You got a couple of Doctor Who things here?
Yes, we got a
Doctor
couple. I'll go through them real quick. We got a teaser for the Christmas thing, which we're not allowed to talk about there. We have a new spin-off announced, the War Between Land and Sea thing. Filming starts next week. The actress that used to play Tish Jones will be there, but not as Tish Jones, and the actor that played Shipman Frame will be there, but not as Shipman Frame. So, 2 older actors. We also got Kate Stewart returning, and that one soldier guy from the 60th anniversary will also be returning. We have a mobile crossover game called Doctor Who Lost in Time and Star Trek, with Lower Decks and Doctor Who combining or whatever. That's coming in August 1st. The new Star Trek spinoff, Star Trek Fleet Academy, will have Rob Ricardo as a cast member, so that's also cool. And we have one more spinoff of Star Trek coming that was just announced. That will be a comedy, and that is all we know about that so far. What do you have thoughts about all that?
I'm excited for the new Star Trek. That it looks interesting.
The first question I had, you said that we saw something for the Christmas special, but we're not supposed to talk about it. What do you mean?
Well, what are you talking about? Just not a lot actually happens. Just Doctor popping up in a bunch of different rooms trying to give.
Oh, I haven't watched it. Okay, I didn't know if there was something that we're not supposed. Okay,
yeah,
I'll have to go look at it. And you said the special or the new series is supposed to have Tish Jones, correctly? Is that supposed to be Martha's sister?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's returning. Okay. The actress returning, but not as that character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
All right, we got some The Boys stuff. There's a new spinoff called Rock Rising. I believe that's gonna star Jason Ackles.
Mm-hmm. It's co-star what's her face who played Stormfront.
Mm-hmm. We got a Lord of the Rings season 2 trailer. Did anybody see that?
I saw the trailer. I think they're trying to fix the complaint that a lot of people had about season 1, that it was too slow.
Oh, you're talking about Rings of Power?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When you said Lord of the Rings, I was like, well, isn't that new animated thing a movie or is it a show?
No. This is season 2 of Ring of Power.
Gotcha.
So that, or they just in the trailer they put all the most action-packed scenes, one or the other.
Yeah. I'll have to go watch the trailer. I didn't know they dropped it.
All right, what else we got, y'all?
We got some Walking Dead spinoffs. We got a trailer for Dark City season 2, and a new spinoff for Daryl Dixon, the Book of Clairol. We got a trailer for that. What are your thoughts?
Can I ask our viewers, are you guys still watching Walking Dead? I'm just curious.
That was my question.
Hands. Yeah. Do people actually still watch Walking Dead?
I don't.
I'm not hating. I'm just curious.
I don't.
I
never finished.
I just feel like Walking Dead to me is making me think of like how video games saw Call of Duty, where they just milk the shit out of it until there's nothing left.
That's kind of how I feel about Walking Dead. Like, I mean, have I gone back to, like Janae said, had never finished watching it in real time?
I didn't finish.
Now when I'm like, hey, I'm out of shows to watch. Oh wait, I still have a couple more seasons of The Walking Dead to finish catching up on.
Kat, you have made it to a point where you've run out of shows to watch? How does that exist?
So because I doom scroll and I don't sleep.
How have you run out of shows? Kat, tell me, how have you run out of shows? I have so many that I like have anxiety that I'm like, I have not watched all these shows. How do you have how?
Because I'm an old lady, so a lot of the older stuff that I already would have had to have catch up on, I've watched in real time. Oh,
well, even new stuff coming out right now.
Geek Girl Extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Hey, girl power. More power to you. I'm jealous because
I'm also notorious for putting shows on while I'm doing other things.
Mm.
So like I'm like, I'm one of those people that like people see me multitask and it gives them anxiety.
Yep.
Because they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh yeah, so I'm doing this. Oh no, I'm still watching that. It's fine. Yeah.
I have yet to run into a situation where my life's like, I don't know what to watch. My situation is I have so many shows to watch, but yet I have this urge to be like, let me go rewatch this show. No, Tyler, stop! You need to go watch what you need to watch.
Okay, see, that's my other thing. I am not a big rewatcher.
Mm.
I have been recently.
Have shows that I bought on DVD and Blu-ray.
DVD?
I watched it one time through, never went back to it.
Mm.
So that's probably some of it too. Is I very rarely go back and watch a show or a series twice.
Gotcha. All right, Charlotte, what else we got, man?
One and done.
Well, Superboy will apparently be appearing in My Adventures of Superman in season 3.
Woo!
So that's gonna happen. We also got a
we got the total opposites on this show on that because Tyler loves it, Janae hates it.
I can't help myself. I do like it.
I don't like the art style.
Yeah,
I think the art style works for it. It works really well. It's trying to capture that younger generation with the anime feel, and it works. It really works.
So, Janae, have you started watching Harley Quinn the Isekai?
Yeah.
Okay, so I like that anime style because it's like the older style anime, not like new style. So it's like in the stuff the stuff I grew up on.
It's very 90s,
80s
late
and 90s
80s
anime.
to early 90s esque. Yeah. I'm okay with that because it's still an anime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
You're okay with Suicide Squad, but that's not an anime. But it's supposed to look like it'd be an anime.
No, they've converted it. So okay.
No, I know what it is. But what I'm trying to say is, like, Harley Quinn didn't come from Japan manga, like
right. But DC is actually taking a lot of their titles and converting them into manga.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just it's again they're recognizing that there's a younger generation. Anime is a huge thing right now. There's people who are trying to pay meals, but you know what they're finding out, like when people are like canceling subscriptions, you know what they're not canceling their Crunchyroll because they want it and they love their anime, and so they're recognizing it and they're pulling some money out and putting some focus that way. And I think it's smart. I think it's a good way to capture a younger audience who may have not grew up with comic books but they're starting to get into anime, and so like this is a cool way to like kind of capture those people. And here's the, if you don't like the art style, totally okay. Like there's no, and even if you don't like the show, that's totally okay too. Like there's no hate. Like it's not like, oh, you don't like it, but it's a really good show. You didn't know. Everyone's okay. Like it's fine. I watch it and I have too much of a good time. I laugh way too hard at scenes. I think it's episode 2 or 3 in season 2 when basically it's like Valentine's Day and Clark is supposed to like do something big and extravagant for Lois, but he hasn't, and everyone's kind of giving him a hard time for it, and it's just very, very funny for me. It was like it was very laughable.
All right, Charlotte, let's go ahead and finish this puppy up. What else you got for us to wrap it up?
We got we got Future Commandos trailer. Anybody see that?
I did see that trailer.
I heard about it.
Yeah,
I know the story of it.
Yeah, I like the when she's like, oh, they told us to stop having our human stuff, and he's like, why are these people here? And he's like, because they're not human. And I was like, oh, that's fucked up. That's something Waller would do, but that's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, one of the bigger things that a lot of people haven't been talking about, Crisis on Infinite's Mirth is coming in February. This is a crossover between a lot of Cartoon Network shows and Jellystone. Your thoughts?
I feel like I saw a picture or something about it, but I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
No DC related shows, as far as I could tell, but we have stuff like Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter, like a bunch of different stuff. What do y'all think?
If they bring in the original voices, that'd be good. Because that's why, like, the new Powerpuff Girls kind of tanked, is because they didn't bring back any of the original girl voices and stuff.
All right, we got 2 more things.
Yep. We got a teaser for Squid Game, which will be coming in December 26th, and also it has been greenlit for a 3rd season, but that will be its last season. What do y'all think?
Did you say December 2026?
No,
December
26th. 26th.
Oh, okay. I thought you said December 26th. I'm like, they're showing us trailers for something like 2 years away.
I still don't get why anybody will participate.
So the better part is they actually in addition to because the show was so popular, Netflix created an actual reality show for Squid Game.
Yeah.
Now here's my thing. I'm disappointed no one died. Like if you're making a
You ain't die.
reality
We're
show
close to it because of the conditions.
well, yeah, but I mean, if you're making a show based on a reality TV show based off of a TV show where if you are the weakest link, your punishment is death.
And it's funny because YouTube did it twice before that, and I did it better.
I never watched Squid Games.
I don't get it. Why would you get a game your ass could die? That's my thing. I'll be damned.
Have you? I don't know. Like, people are poor, man. People need money, and like, you know what?
That bad.
Well, some people are. Some people are in that situation where you okay, life sucks every day, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better. No matter what I do, it's not getting any better. So why not risk it all?
It's like the last episode of House of Dragons. Hey, I might get to ride a dragon.
Yeah,
I might.
Exactly.
I might get to ride a dragon.
Yeah, those people all line up knowing that there's a chance that they'll get barbecued, but in the hopes of becoming like a High Lord and being able to have everything they want because they've been living in poverty and as lowborns their entire life. So the opportunity to be highlighted above and be up there with, they're going to jump at it.
All right, Sean, what's the last name on the list?
Yeah, Game Influencer apparently is shutting down after 32 years. What are your thoughts?
Who is?
Game Informer, the magazine. Game Informer shutting it down.
They took it away from print a few years ago and went to only digital. I think that was I personally think that was probably not a good idea because I think one of the perks of it was when it was physical. I am someone who's like, things need to be digital. We need to go that direction. But I think the idea when you got it print, it felt like you were getting almost like a present because it would be something that would come.
It's like a value.
It was like
something
that you would get in the mail randomly, and you'd be like, "Oh shit!" And it'd be cool pictures of the new game. When you get in your email, I don't fucking look at it. I stopped looking at it. I delete them.
You just glance over it.
Yeah. And so
like when it came in print, like in the mail, it was like, "Oh look, this is a benefit of having that whatever we pay for GameStop."
Yeah,
the thing that kills me though, as an employee, you got shit for it.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You ain't getting nothing for it.
If
you get the subscription, you as an employee got nothing for it.
What? No, I did.
I didn't.
You didn't when you signed up for Power Rewards as an employee.
I was selling the GameStop guarantees, and I got nothing for it. Maybe that changed. I don't know, but I got not a damn thing for selling those subs.
Oh wait, you're talking about. I'm talking about. So when I worked at GameStop, I had a Power Rewards account. I did get the physical things sent to me.
Yeah, I got that part, but as far as
you didn't get like
monetary.
You're talking about incentives for selling them.
Shit.
Well, because remember they cared about the circle. I don't know if they still do the circle of life. That's all they fucking cared about. That bullshit system that made no sense.
You got nothing for selling them damn magazines. Nothing.
You got you're lucky you have a job. That's what they say.
Yeah, yeah. That's what you got. You better all them game guarantees. Gameplay guarantees. You better sell all of them.
Here in Washington, I was working at GameStop when they did one of their biggest minimum wage jumps ever. It went from like I think it was like $8.50 or $8.60, and it went to like $11 or $10 or $11. And I remember working at GameStop, and our regional manager, whatever they call, she was there, and she of course was like, "Well, if they're gonna expect to be paid that much, they better be extra working hard then." And I was like, "What the fuck? What?"
Hey, that's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Fuck you.
Yeah, GameStop. The fact that they're still around blows my mind. I'm really surprised because they are a company that like tries something for 3 to 6 months, and when it doesn't like take off the ground right away, they just pivot to something new and to scrap everything. And it's like, how much money are you spending switching things so quickly and not like staying with anything or making anything work right?
All right. We got everything out there. Let's go ahead and go around the room for final thoughts and get on out of here for the night. I'm gonna start with Kat. Kat, what you got?
Well, over on Geek News Now, we're gonna have MCU Monday. at 8:30 Central Standard Time on our YouTube channel, Geek News Now Official. Thursday, we should have Cantina Happy Hour coming back. And then here at the Geek Gauntlet, we'll be back here next Saturday. Next Friday, however, if you're in the San Antonio area, I'm going to be out at a pop-up market at Brevity Coffee Shop with my fun D&D tabletop game accessories. I'm going to be vending out there, so should be a good time.
All right, Janae, what you got?
That sounds promising.
Your camera might not be on, but I definitely saw your face right there.
Yeah.
Your face, yes.
That's what an eye roll sounds like, folks.
Right. Hoping to finish some anime that I've been watching, and
Which one?
possibly drawing, quote unquote. Maybe on my new tablet. I don't know. It's still in the box. I'm sorry.
Janae, draw some waifus already.
You didn't even open the damn thing yet. Damn.
Will and I need some waifus to draw them.
You got a brand new tablet. I ain't even opened it yet. Damn.
It's really hard. Like, I had this problem when I went into graphic design school with drawing on a tablet, because the paper and pencil is just how I drew.
So,
I
Janae,
get
what
it.
you should do your pencil sketch,
Mm-hmm.
take your picture,
I know.
import it into your program, and then expand on it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I did in class and stuff, but it was just hard.
All right, Shaw. What you got, man?
That's everything.
All right. Anything you doing this week?
I'm chilling. Same old.
Okay. And last but not least, Tyler, what you got going on, man?
I was like, shot over there. It's like, but that's all, folks.
That's it. That's all.
The only things I'll say is, one, Kat, I'm still waiting for my ticket in the mail to fly me down there for you. I'll come to your event. You just got to fly me down there so I can just crash your place for a while and then see San Antonio. And then you can convince me to move down there, because that's what you probably need to happen. So,
I mean, this is where all the stuff is. Like, I mean, I'm going to a convention tomorrow that's like a free convention at a mall.
again, you just need to fly me down there. Yeah, I'm for it.
This is not fair.
Y'all just need to relocate down here. Like, I got a realtor. I'll hook you up.
Realtor, I can't afford anything. But I will say, before I talk about real quick, I was going to talk about the comics real quick. I finished up the Marvel Blood Hunt. Those of you who have talked about before, it's the vampire event that they've had all summer long. Pretty cool. I will say the two biggest aspects that are interesting as it ended and wrapped up. One, so Miles Morales in the event got bit and has become a vampire. He's still a vampire, and at the moment he's staying a vampire. Don't know how long that'll last, but currently in the comics, Miles Morales is going to be a Spider-Man vampire. However, also, it's not really clear if it's just these two or if it's everyone, but the sun came out and both Dracula and Miles were able to walk in the sun. So again, now they are daywalkers. How long that'll happen, it's unclear. But again, it doesn't explain if it's just those two or
Now, was he able to daywalk as Miles, or was he able to daywalk in the suit?
No, because his mask is off, and because he flinches when the sun first peeks out. He's like, "Oh no!" And then like but here's the thing: Dracula doesn't act surprised. Dracula acts like he knew something was going on, and so he even kind of hints at Miles, like, there was things in play. So we'll have to wait and see what that looks like. But it also, again, it's unclear if it's just those two or if all vampires now can walk in the sun after the Blood Hunt event. So that could be something interesting in the comics. Who knows? Also, Doctor Doom was a very big part of this towards the end. Ultimately convincing Doctor Strange to give him the powers of the Sorcerer Supreme, and then not giving it back when he comes back, because he made a deal with him, and Strange told him, okay, once you save the world, you have to give me the powers back. And Doom's like, gotcha, will do. And then at the end, he's like, oh, you said you'd give me my powers back once you save the world. And Doom's like, I did, and I'm just getting started. The world's not saved yet. So, and there is an event coming out in fall, like I forget what it's called, but it's basically like All Hail Doom. but Doom does reach out across the entire planet and put out a signal telling people, I am the savior of Earth. I saved it. Also, I am now your new ruler. I think that, again, if Marvel's definitely going to be pivoting to doing a lot more Doom stuff, it makes sense to the comics right now. So we'll definitely see some cool Doctor Doom stuff. Other than that, just trying to watch new shows. I need to catch up on the Suicide Squad Isekai. I need to watch the Batman Cape Crusader that came out. I know you said you watched it, Will. Did you like it?
Fantastic.
Okay.
The intro sucks, but everything else is good.
Well, I'll try and get to some of that watching, and then again, just reading through comics and having a good time with that.
All right. I want to say thank you for everybody coming out for the discussion tonight, for the show. We do appreciate it. We'll be back here next week, same bat time, same bat channel for the Geek Gauntlet Podcast. Everyone have a great week. Have a safe week. Stay cool and take care.